So good, I don't want to leave, but I gotta know what's your fantasy.
Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage more talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in. We need the support. 1 hour too short to listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs. You know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark. No LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, this is all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all 3 speakers. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, this all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all 3 speakers. Go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com and check out the merchandise page. We got the nice, clean logo merch over there. We got the Beastie merch. We got the Team Buff merch over there. We got the Takeaway 22 merch. What else kind of merch we got? Guys, if you need merch, head over to manhourradio.com. Check it out. Got book bags, long sleeve tees. You got hats. I don't got my hat on. We got some new Flex Bill fitted hats coming in. Woohoo! Give me some flexible hats, guys. Man, but we got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We got my man, Luke G, coming on here in just a few minutes here, probably about 30 minutes. We got Luke G coming on. We're going to get underneath that man's skin and say that Matthew Stafford is overrated just to see what happens. No, I'm totally kidding, or am I? You guys know who I am. This is Michael Buckasher with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to Twitter at manhour_buck. Give me a follow because Man Hour now has a morning show, guys. That's right. Every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. East Coast time. We are live right here on YouTube TV, youtube.com/manhour. But most importantly, BellyUp.tv. That's right, guys. We are officially part of Belly Up Sports Network. Belly Up TV or BellyUp.tv is where you can find us, and it's going to be magic happening over there. We will be live over there from 8 to 10 a.m. and then a replay of the previous show from the night before from 3 to 5 p.m. East Coast time. So, guys, those are all East Coast times because that's where I live and that's where all the magic happens. Even though, guys, East Coast is by far the worst time zone in America. Hands down. Hands freaking down. Monday Night Football, I'm up to like 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I got to get up at 6 o'clock to go to work. It's absolutely stupid, absolutely asinine. So, we did not have a show last time because Combsy was doing the volleyball thing. Did not have a show this morning because I found out that I was sicker than a dog. And it turns out that I got the Rona. That's right, man. I finally, after 2.5 years of 2 weeks to flatten the curve, your boy finally got exposed to the Rona. I mean, I had a little chest pain, and I've just been tired all day. But my work has quarantined me for 14 days. 14 days, so that's right. So until February 7th, guys, you will see me here back on the After Nights show with my man Beastie. He'll be back on tomorrow. And then I'll be gone for a couple more weeks, and then bada bing, bada boom, we are back here making magic to your ear holes. But, guys, I will still be on the morning show 100%. But if you guys would like to text into the show or call into the show tonight, phone lines are brought to you by Skull Candy Headphones, skullcandyoriginal.com. Use promo code MANHOUR at checkout to save yourself 20%. See some dollar bills, y'all. But the phone number is 812-648-HOUR. That is 812-648-4687. Alpha Rob says, I hope Frazier is gone after that stupid prevent defense guys playing 20 yards back. Alpha Rob, are you still bitter about the Kansas City Chiefs whooping that ass, baby? Woo, slow it down, my man. Slow it down. So I do see Alpha Rob jumping in the chat, man. Guys, I have missed the interaction with the overnight show. We got Drew, Alpha Rob, Javier, Rock, and all those guys. Guys, thank you guys for tuning in always. But Alpha Rob, I'm not gonna lie. Monday morning show, I believe it was. Yeah, because today's Tuesday, right? I mean, my days, the road has kind of got my mind foggy, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So I think it was Monday's show, but I kind of put you on blast there a little bit. But that was by far the best football game that I've seen in a very, very long time. Since 2018, when the New England Patriots took the Chiefs into overtime, and I believe that's the year that Tom Brady won his last Super Bowl with New England, if I'm not mistaken. And many people are saying that you need to change the overtime rules, yada, yada, yada. I wasn't going to get in that today, but I did not have the morning show. And you know what? This is my show, live, raw, and uncut sports talk. We have 30 minutes to kill until Luke G comes on. And then I got a special guest for you guys, hour number 2. So sit back and relax for special guest hour number 2. We'll see if it's a blast from the past or a blast from the future. Who knows? But I've been seeing all over the world here that we need to change the overtime rules. And I was all for changing the overtime rules. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, I was like, this is dumb. Let's change it, yada, yada, yada. But then ESPN, the great stat takers at ESPN, because they have all that money just for one little nerd to go find all these stats, right? I believe the overtime rules were changed in 2019 after the Patriots-Chiefs game, that a team either has to score a touchdown or the other team has to rebuttal if they score a field goal, right? So basically, you cannot score on the you cannot win on the first possession of overtime unless you get a touchdown. Ever since that rule has been changed in the NFL, there have only been 23% of the 215 overtime games that have ended on first score drives. 23%. So out of the 210, 23%, what's that? I don't know. It's a little over 20 games, right? So everybody that is saying that we need to change the overtime rules right now, why? I mean, I was all on board. I'm like, yeah, let the Bills get a chance to rebuttal, right? But then people are saying, well, how do you fix it? Do you do it college shootout style? No, that'd be dumb. Do you just play a full quarter? No, that would be dumb too, right? Because, you know, like, at what point do you cut it off? Because you could, in theory, play 2 full games and still not have a winner at the end of the day. So just leave the overtime rules alone. I am going to hashtag waffle my answer back there and say it's completely dumb. Just have fun with it. Leave it alone. Only 20% of overtime games have been decided with the first touchdown rule since it's been changed. So sorry that the Bills fell into that 20% time in a very good game, in a game that basically the coin toss was going to win that game. I'm sorry that it happened that way, but it happens sometimes. Just leave the overtime rules alone. So we got a new person over here in the chat that says forbidden knowledge. He says, "What up, though?" You know what what is up, though? Is it like John Doe or Doe? Like, what up, Doe? Like money, Doe? No, I'm kidding. But what is up, forbidden knowledge? I'm glad to see you jumping in the chat here, man. Be sure to leave a like there and a subscribe if you are new here. Hit that bell icon because you do upload the clips every 3 hours over here. I think my pants are on fire. My pants are on fire, guys. Ooh, space heater got a little close. Got a little close. That game wasn't good. I'm not for sure what game was it good. So Alpha Rob says it's not overtime if they just play defense with 13 seconds. But okay, Alpha Rob. So Alpha Rob, guys, if you guys do not know, Alpha Rob is a Buffalo Bills fan. He has given me he's been definitely supporting his team, which I love that you're supporting your team all season long. And Alpha Rob has always did not like when Graham did not have the Buffalo Bills at number 1. Rivalry show, right? But many people say they should have squid kick it and let the time run off the clock. Okay. Let's flash back to this game, Alpha Rob. The last 5 minutes of the game, this was a Rams Kansas City Chiefs back in 2017, when it was who was going to have the ball last that was going to win that game. Let's say you do squid kick it down to the 5 or 10 yard line, right? Granted that the ball doesn't go out of bounds, okay? Let's say the ball goes out of bounds. We're talking like the Kansas City Chiefs will probably win that game in regular time. But let's say they squid kick it. They have Byron Pringle back there or Tyreek Hill. I can't remember who, but do you guys remember what Tyreek Hill did to you in the punt out return just a quarter before that? 45 yards later, hello, baby. Or you have Byron Pringle that's just dynamic, if not more dynamic than Tyreek Hill in the kick return game. So let's say they squig it, okay? I'm seeing 20 to 30-yard game, okay? So instead of starting at the 25, we are now starting at the 45 there, Mr. Alpha Rob. We are now starting at the 40-yard line on the negative side of the field, not the positive side yet. Let's say let's say that takes it down 7 seconds. We're looking at 6 seconds left on the clock, right? Let's say the Buffalo Bills are still playing that prevent defense, which they should be doing, right? Do not give up the big play, keep them out of field goal range. So they probably had the linebackers about the 30-yard line-ish. You still run that slant play to Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce. Bada bing, bada boom. They are there at the 30-yard line anyways with 2 seconds left instead of 6. Like, it doesn't change the outcome, Alpha Rob, at the end of the day. I think the outcome was who was going to have the ball last. That's basically what it come down to. And sorry to say, that is just the way it is. And unfortunately, it sucked. Here, let me unplug that space heater. I think my legs are literally on fire. But just that is just sometimes the way the games. What's the old saying is from Bruce Almighty? That's the way the cookie crumbles, my man. That's exactly what happened. That is the way the cookie crumbled that game. But hey, Josh Allen went to his smoking hot girlfriend, probably got a little nooner, right, on the way home or something, bada bing, bada boom. 9 months later, we could have a baby, Josh Allen. Just throwing it out there. I mean, it happened with like Patty, Patty Mahomes. So it is what it is. So it is what it is at the end of the day. So guys, coming up on tonight's show, we do got some Hall of Fame talk. I don't talk a lot of baseball without Combs on here, but the Hall of Fame voting has happened. And imagine that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens has been left out. So if you guys do not know, the Hall of Fame voting was tonight. My man David Ortiz did get in along with like Andrew Jones and some others, but it doesn't matter because what it comes down to is to those three players. You had Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, and Sammy Sosa all missing the Hall of Fame. So I believe Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens can no longer be inducted into the Hall of Fame because they've been on the ballot 10 times. So with all that being said, this Hall of Fame has kind of been, I think the Hall of Fame has to have an asterisk on it by now, right, guys? But just because you are literally leaving out one of the top pitchers in the Major League Baseball of all time. I don't care, steroids or not, fake blood on the sock, it doesn't matter. You are leaving Roger Clemens. How many rings does he have? At least 3, right? One with Yankees, Red Sox, and I think didn't he win with Houston as well? I can't remember. But like either way, and then you not arguably. You do have the best hitter out of the Hall of Fame as well. Barry Bonds is hands down the best hitter of all time. So we have talked ad nauseum, right? Is that the correct word? Nauseum, when I want to puke out of my mouth every time I talk about it again. That Barry Bonds let me step back. We have talked about it with nauseum with Combs, Wayne G. I think Torrey even talked about it. Hoffy, Suit Boss. Guys, the list goes on and on. Whoever has been on Man Hour has talked about it, and they said that Barry Bonds, hands down, is the best hitter ever in Major League Baseball. Right? I mean, like, it is what it is. Like, I don't care if those so, let me calm down. Collect the thoughts. I don't care if you take steroids or PEDs or whatever, right? The only thing that PEDs and steroids and all that crap did for you in Major League Baseball was keep you healthy. Because, first of all, 162 games is way too many in a season. You are playing six games a week, if not 7. What, you have like 20 off days in all Major League Baseball season from, spring training starts in February till December now, right? It just, like, 12 and a half months long, right? So, it's just way too long. So, they're taking PEDs just to stay healthy, just so they can wake up in bed in the morning. They are taking steroids because, they when we had RC on, we see all these huge contracts, right? But that is less than 1% of the Major League Baseball that is making these outrageous $555 million trillion, right? What about my man like RC's that's making like $2,500 a month? It's just absolutely asinine. So they don't take PEDs or steroids or the lotion or the Rolodex or whatever you want to call it. They are taking those just to stay healthy, just to be able to play the game that people are coming to see them play. PEDs do not field the ball. PEDs do not let you hit the ball. PEDs do not let you see the ball. PEDs don't even put your batting gloves on at the end of the day. You still have to do all that. The only thing PEDs are doing is keeping you on the field for 162 games in a year. And to say that people did not use steroids when you could basically use them and not get caught, like, why the hell not? I would stick a needle in my butt if I could have. I could have been in the NFL, or you'd still playing in the CFL, or still maybe had the heart to play like arena ball if I would have stuck the needle in my butt. If they would have if they would have allowed me to do that, why not? So, but yet, wasn't Bug Seeley the commissioner at that point in time when the PEDs was happening? Isn't Bug Seeley in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. But yet, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, is it? Huh. Imagine that. Maybe we should just put the juice balls in the Hall of Fame too, right? But whatever, guys. Let me just take a break here and pause down, collect my thoughts. We are up against the first break here, guys, on BellyUpTV.tv. So if you guys are watching us here on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, share this with a couple friends. We got my man Luke G coming up next. So if you guys are in the chat of yearoveryoutube.com/manhour, in the description I do have Luke G's YouTube channel linked in there. If you like what he's got to say, if you enjoy him, head over there, guys. Give it a like. Be sure to hit that bell icon because he is live 5 days a week, just like Man Hours. Man, my man Luke's getting Detroit Lions talk all over, guys. But it's time for a break. We'll be right back, guys, here on the Man Hour.
I give a slight edge, Mike, to Marquette because they're playing on their home court. And Marquette's been taking care of business on the road. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Every time, though. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cole. You know what I'm talking about here right now. I second that. So,
You know that it's us when we talk about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short to listen to all. Your station not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas. Station not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs. You know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark. No LA, we a big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers. Go.
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Now, that's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help with the Take 22 merch. It's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support.
Right. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheiser here with the Man Hour. You can find me on Twitter at manhour_Buck, guys. I've been a lot more active over there on the Twitter machine. And since I'm in the Rona quarantine stage for the next 14 days, hit me up. I'm going to be bored. You can only play so much Candy Crush and so much Fortnite in a day before you just go crazy, right? So we talked a little bit about the Hall of Fame. I don't want to get too much into it tonight because I know Combs going to want to talk about it tomorrow when he is back here. But we got to welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. COVID survivor himself, my man Luke G. What's going on, Luke?
Hey, salute, man. COVID thought it had a good fight, but he realized quickly, I'm like Floyd Mayweather. I stay undefeated. Okay, Rona didn't know what it was doing when it took me on. Yeah,
see, because I got tested. I didn't have symptoms at all, but I simply got tested because of my boss actually got it and called in sick work on Monday. So they're like, hey, since you work in the same office as I can send you need to get tested, yada yada yada. And of course, it came back positive. I'm like, but I don't have any symptoms. I got my shot. How does it make any sense? But whatever. Nothing makes sense in the world besides having you on, Luke. Because every time I hear you in my ear holes, Luke, and then I see that beautiful silhouette of where you it's magic, Luke. I love having you on, and I love seeing your show.
Well, first of all, I'm happy you don't have any symptoms because I had every symptom you could name. I'm talking about you named it: body aches, ear aches, nose aches, chest aches, you name it. So shout out to you for not having any symptoms. So that's awesome. Yep. But so, listen, it's always fun to come on here and talk sports. It's always fun to come on here and talk sports, man, because here I don't have to just stick to the Lions. I can talk anything I want. You see? Well, I'm free.
Well, you see here, Luke, we have started a morning show here on the Man Hour every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. East Coast time right here on YouTube.com/man and of course bellyup.tv. And usually on the Tuesday morning show, Luke, I do a thing called Overreaction Tuesday. And this particular morning, I was kind of feeling down, kind of feeling depressed because I didn't know what to do with my life. So I'm bringing it over to you. And are you ready for some Overreaction Tuesdays here, Luke?
Yes, sir. Let's shoot.
All right, Overreaction Tuesday. All right, so my first Overreaction Tuesday here, Luke has basically, since you are a Detroit Lions guy, I only wrote this down just for you only. I don't care what anybody else has to say about it because Matthew Stafford is overrated in the end. But with that being said, is Jared Goff the issue in Detroit, or is it more?
Oh, Jared Goff is definitely an issue, and the reason he's an issue is because it shouldn't take you this many weeks to discover that you can throw the ball past 5 yards, and it shouldn't take you a long time to be able to process things. But if you look at most of his passes, they're ugly. Every single one of them. They're wobbly. They're not a tight spiral. And it doesn't always get there in fashion. And so, yeah, he's a huge problem, but he's going to be our quarterback for at least 2 more seasons. So you might as well just get used to it if you're a Lions fan.
Even if Aaron Rodgers is a free agent or Dak Prescott could possibly be on the move, Russell Wilson, you have Baker Mayfield out there. Hell, you got Jimmy G that could possibly be a free agent this year. You don't think the Lions would possibly entertain any of those ideas for maybe getting Jared Goff out of town?
No. Because at the end of the day, they restructure this deal, which means they're going to take a cap hit, and whoever they bring in need to be willing to sit behind them. You got to keep in mind, the Lions right now are going to probably still end up with about 3 or 4 picks in the top 50 and at least 3 picks in the top 35. So you're talking, that's just this year. Next year, ain't no telling where they're going to end up in the draft with the 2 first overall, the 2 first picks they have coming to them the following year in 2023. So, no, I think they're looking for the future, somebody I can build up and build around. There's only one player I can see them probably taking a look at if the price is right. But even still, I don't think they would do that because the deal would to be where a team is willing to take Jared Goff, and that's where the problem comes in at. So I don't see that happening. I see them going more in the direction of trying to find a young guy. And with the Senior Bowl coming up this week, and the fact that they got Malik Willis and Bailey Zappi and Sam Howell all on their roster to take a look at real close, yeah, it's going to be some decisions to be made over here.
Yeah, well, speaking of decisions to be made here, this is let me get the little thing going. I forget to push the buttons sometimes, Luke, and I have a cool little jingle. It says Overreaction Tuesday. You can't hear it, and I can't hear it, but everybody else can hear it. It is for the people, Luke, and that is what we're here. We are. How's that car commercial go? For the people, we are the people. Or I don't know what to say, but whatever. Speaking of for the people, Aaron Rodgers had a early exit in the playoffs, obviously. So this Overreaction Tuesday I'm going to come at you is geared toward the Green Bay Packers and basically just the NFC North as a whole. Do you think with the whole COVID card scandal and the vaccine scandal and unfinished business and not wanting to rebuild and all this crap, do you think Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay after it's all said and done? Is that an overreaction?
I don't, because I think if he's under the belief that they're going to do a rebuild and he's trying to capture another Super Bowl to cement his legacy, I don't think he sits there for a rebuild. When he tells his people that he's not sitting through a rebuild, I think he believes that. But if you look at the Packers cap situation, it's bad. And I don't know how you get the brain back, how you going to be able to keep Rodgers, bring back Adams, keep all the defensive players, get him all the help that he thinks he needs, like he didn't have help in the first place. I don't know how dude, that's the biggest myth to ever be in the history of football. Aaron Rodgers didn't have help. What? He's had it all.
Oh, yeah.
He's had it all. Receivers, tight ends, running backs, offensive lines, defenses, no excuses. He certainly had more than freaking Brett Favre. And I know he's not going to act as if though he didn't have enough to do it. You're in a division that's been a little bit decrepit. And on top of that, you keep getting first round buys, and then first week playoff game you're exited, and you're 0-4 against a team who really came into it with a bunch of injuries and a quarterback who really shouldn't even been in that game. But hey, what can I say? I just think I pray that he stay, because to me, another myth is it's like, oh, the Packers own it with Aaron Rodgers. No. Other teams have just sucked, and it's just the truth. They've not shown up and they've not been there. So to me, I'm not going to say it's an overreaction that he may be gone, but I think that it could become an overreaction when he realized that there are not many suitors that can afford his services. Yeah. There just isn't.
Definitely a shot to the ego, just because he thinks he's a very wanted man, and really the only people that would want him is Sean Payton in Dallas. Let's just be flat out honest about that. And that is my next Overreaction Tuesday here is right here on the Monday morning show, when the news of Sean Payton started to come out, and I was reading into things, and all the ties were going back to Dallas for Sean Payton. And today, Sean Payton has officially told the New Orleans Saints that he will not be returning to head coach for them in the 2022 NFL season. He is not retiring. He is taking some time off. So, Luke G, let me ask you this. Is it an overreaction that Sean Payton to Dallas Cowboys is a very real possibility and will happen? How about that? It will happen. Sean Payton to Dallas.
Yeah, that's such an overreaction. It's so overreacted that we may need to start handing out Prozacs and Xanax to calm the people down. Let's just be honest, people. Like, no way in hell does he go over there. You're talking about a guy who has had basically total control. You think Jerry Jones is going to allow that person to have that total control? You got people like Troy Aikman who don't even want to go and work for Jerry Jones. That was a guy that drafted him. This is, you're talking about a guy that helped get him there, and he doesn't even want to work with Jerry Jones because he knows he's not going to have any control. It's going to be about Jerry Jones, and I don't see Sean Payton taking that job. I don't see Jerry Jones getting out the way, and if he did, he will only do it long enough until he gets back in the way. He did it with Jimmy Johnson. He did it with Barry Switzer. He did it with Landry. He'll do it with Sean Payton, and I can assure you that there's no way that Sean Payton goes to the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I can think of at least two other teams that if he came back from that he would want to go to. And I'm praying to hell that those teams already cement themselves by turning themselves around and hiring coaches this week. But those two teams are the Bears and the Texans. Those are the two teams. So to me, if he comes to the Bears, I'm going to be highly upset. But you know what? I just think he's telling the truth when he says he's taking a break. I mean,
Yeah.
he's dealt with a lot of adversity, and sometimes you just need a break. 15 years of coaching, that's a lot of time to be away from family and friends.
Yeah, and like I don't like judge people by their appearance because I'm a very sexy person and I know
you are very
like
sexy.
and I know like when I see other people I'm like, man, you guys are ugly. But no.
True.
but if you look at Sean Payton, look at his body just 2 years ago. He seemed like he was in pretty good shape, and like this year he had those big bags underneath his eyes, his like his face seemed chubby. You can kind of just tell when a person starts to look like that whatever they are doing in life, it has taken a toll on them in the end. And I think you are right. Like I think he just needs a break. Like he needs to pull a Urban Meyer and say he's having heart issues just so he's not, quote, looking for a new job, right?
Yeah, and plus you gotta think about it. Like, I hate to say this, but I think most of us should do this in real life. Most of us should take breaks from working, especially if you're married.
Yeah.
Talk to your spouse and just say, "Hey, I need 6 months," and then or I need a year, and then after a year you go, "Okay." Then hey, you take a year. We should take breaks, and if you're single, you really should take a break. Well, people are like, well, how you take a break if you're single? Oh, it's really simple. You set yourself up to just be able to have enough money to cover you for a year while you relax, and it's something that you got to do. But I think in his case, he's looking at it and he's saying, I've dealt with it all. Quarterback situations, dealt with it. No running back, dealt with it. No
Right.
receivers, dealt with it. At this point, it's a matter of saying, let me take a break and see what jobs come available that I can look at and say, hey, I'll take that job. I don't think he's looking for a team full of talent. I mean, he went over to the Saints, turned that around. So
Yeah.
he has confidence that he can turn things around. And to me, if I'm being honest about it, I think when you look at people like Sean Payton, he deserves a break. Turning around the Saints wasn't easy. That was a dumpster fire of an organization, and you have to be able to see it for what it is. And the same thing like with the Bengals right now, starting to get some wins and stuff. This stuff makes differences, but overall, when a coach puts that much energy into it, yeah, it's exhausting. And the fact that they're getting to a point where he has a chance to have an out and do it peacefully, I think it makes for a great opportunity for him, and I think he just needs a break.
And it also shows like how much respect he has for that organization, giving them months in advance before the draft to find their guy when head coaching candidates are still out there, and good head coaching candidates as well. So definitely big props to Sean Payton for just being honest with himself and the organization. So if you guys are just joining us here, we are with the special guest. Every Tuesday guest here is my man Luke G at Luke G Field Reviews. His link is in the description for the YouTube channel, guys. Be sure to go over there if you enjoy what Luke says. He does great content over there on his YouTube channel. Give him a like, give him a sub. But guys, we are Overreaction Tuesday here, and I have two more overreactions for my man Luke G before we got into what he has to say about the overtime rules. I've already touched on it a little bit. We're going to dive deeper into it with like Luke G here. But Luke, the Major League Hall of Fame has come out. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and Sammy Sosa have all been nixed. Andrew Jones, my man David Ortiz, and some other people have gotten in. But let me ask you this question here. Overreaction that Major League Baseball Hall of Fame is dumb and overrated.
Not an overreaction. It's funny to me how you as an organization can know about the steroid use, know about all the scandals, know about all the corking and the talk. You know all this. You've been knew about it and you didn't care until people started questioning it. And then all of a sudden now that your dirty laundry is out, only now do you want to act as if though your Hall of Fame is so coveted. But guess what? Those people you left out, it's the reason your league was even being looked at. And the fact is this: every time Barry Bonds hit a home run and he decided to be a part of the home run derby or the All-Star weeks and all that stuff like that, all those times that happened, you ate that money up. You never once turned your back on it, and you knew every single piece of it, and it's disgusting. So it's not an overreaction that it's getting dumb. I'm praying to God that the NFL don't get stupid.
Right.
They're starting to let in a lot of people too. But the MLB knows exactly what they're doing, and they're trying to save face and try to make it like there's this exclusive club, and these people embarrassed us. Yeah, they only embarrassed you once you got the money. It's almost like you went in the back alley, fought the $2 somebody, and they decided that, you know what, after that, it was only worth $1. No, you were good with spending the $2, and you should treat it as such. So no, that's not an overreaction. It's just a flat out truth. It's terrible. It's no respect to what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know what you gonna do? Wait till they die and then turn around and be like, "Hey, they were so great." Tired of that.
Yeah, it's mean because let's just be honest here. Let's flash back to the home run when Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa, or not Barry Bonds, when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were going back and forth. Baseball was dead. Who was watching baseball back in 95 and 96? Were you, Luke? I sure wasn't.
I wasn't.
No, but then, you know, when Sammy and Sosa and Mark McGwire were on ESPN every morning, who hit the next home run? Who was going back and forth? Guys, that exploded baseball back. And fun fact here, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, when steroid was allowing it to happen, was encouraging it to happen. He's done the Hall of Fame, but Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds aren't. Come on, man. Come on. Luke, last Overreaction Tuesday here. With the sudden basically quitting, right, of Sean Peyton, there are now 9 head coaching jobs out there. One of them that I am still surprised is not open yet is the Seattle Seahawks. So is this an overreaction that Pete Carroll will, air quote here, retire in the next few days and have the Seattle job open?
Yeah, I think it's an overreaction. I think that the problem with Pete Carroll is the fact that people think he wants to retire, and the fact that people think that he can't do it without Russell Wilson, and the fact that people think that he's over the hill. Now, I'm a Lions fan, but I'm also a fan of the Seahawks and the Bucks, and so I do follow those teams. And I know that one thing about Pete Carroll is he's very prideful, and the last thing he's going to do is let somebody else run him up out of there. I don't think Pete Carroll retires or anything like that. However, I do think Pete Carroll sets himself up to start to send a message to the team when people think they're going to be bigger than him as a player coach that he is. I think he's going to start sending messages to the team where it's like, if you don't want to be here, I got solutions and answers. And so when he goes out and the Seattle Seahawks draft the replacement for Russell Wilson, and Wilson is looking like, oh, you're drafting quarterbacks. Yeah, we just going to let you know in case you want to be stupid. We're prepared.
Right.
So I if he retired, I would be shocked. I don't see him as somebody who's ready to step away. However, fast forward that past this year, don't be surprised if you see him deciding to step away, especially if certain college jobs come available. I think there's a few college jobs that he would love to have and to restore their thing, but I don't see him as a coach who's ready to call it quit just yet, just because he knows that so many people was hoping that he do so to prove a point.
Yeah. So are you saying he goes back to USC after who'd they just hired? They just hired the old Eagles coach, right, over there?
Yeah, but I don't think he goes back to USC. I think that the two jobs he's waiting to see what's going to happen, in all honesty, is Texas, and I think he wants to see what's going on with Texas because they have a rich history.
Right.
And the other team that I think that he's going to be keeping a close eye on, and I could be wrong about this one, but I just feel like this gives him an opportunity to keep some things going. It's Clemson. If somehow Sweeney gets a job for real in the NFL, and now here comes Pete Carroll looking like, oh, they got 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I can go over here and be a god. Like, I can see that being the case, but it's got to be it's got to be like a program that has some talent already, and that's not covered in scandal. And right now, Clemson don't have any scandals.
Yeah, so and now you can pay your players and still be A-okay. So Pete Carroll would fit right in the mold there.
Right on in. I mean,
so we do have some chats coming through here. Forbidden Knowledge, I'm glad to see you in here, man. Thank you for tuning in. He says, I don't think he retires. Pete Carroll is a tough coach. Yeah. He's a good coach. I mean, people just see him like laughing and having good times on the sidelines playing catch. You guys realize he's like 80 years old and still living life to his fullest.
I know.
And, he puts in tons of hours, and it's not his fault that Russell Wilson just shits the bed the last 9 weeks of the season, right?
Yeah, it is. That is his fault.
It is his fault, 100%.
It is, because the problem is this, and it's not just him. It's other head coaches doing the same thing. Run the damn ball. I don't know why is running the ball like an epidemic, like to just, we want to stay away from that. We want to stay away from running the ball. If you go through and you look at it, the playoff, every single playoff over the last 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to find one game where a team got outrushed, where a team didn't outrush a team and won. But most of the time, even this playoffs, the Titans outrushed the Bengals, and it took 3 terrible turnovers at terrible times for them to sink the ship. And you go through and you just simply look at it and you ask yourself, why are you putting it off on the quarterback? You don't have to. Run the ball. Just run the ball. Let the quarterback manage the game. He doesn't need to be the hero. Just because people tell you it's a passing lead don't mean you got to actually do it. Because the teams who are winning are the ones running the ball in the playoffs. And so, yeah, it's definitely on him.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely on him. He got to be better at that part of the game.
All right, guys. So if you are listening to us here on podcast form, we are with my man Luke G. You can find him at Luke G Fields on the old Twitter machine. And, of course, subscribe to his YouTube channel. It is in the description of this episode here. But every Tuesday, we do have Luke G on here right at 8:30 East Coast time. Usually, I had him on like a little earlier because I wanted to talk some overreactions. But Luke G always brings us some great content. So, Luke, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, you know what? I've been watching playoffs games. I've been watching a lot of football, and I've come to a conclusion that we suck as fans. Yeah, we suck as fans. We lack the discipline to know the thing that we claim that we love. Like it does not make sense to me. I'll give you a perfect example, right? We have fans who find the craziest things to complain about that don't make sense. Like, for example, the overtime rule. Let's change the overtime rule. Let's talk about the 13 seconds that the defense couldn't hold. Let's talk about the stops that they had before that they never made. Let's talk about the 3rd and the 10. Why do we need to change a whole overtime rule when you can handle your business and put in control your destiny? That's what makes football so great. You get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, pun intended, right? And then I'm just saying that this whole entire thing about changing the overtime rule is ridiculous. But fans are driving it home because they can't help it. And then you turn around, you look at games like the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they didn't just witness their team stink it up, poor coach, poor game plan, poor defense, poor offense, poor decision-making, and you're throwing stuff at the referees. Why? What is wrong with you? Are you so upset that you couldn't wrap your head around the fact that, the referees took it from us? Where was that same energy at when the referees gave it to you get to Detroit Lions? I don't remember y'all throwing a single thing. I don't remember nobody throwing any type of things on the field when they pick up a flag. I don't remember nobody throwing anything on the field when a referee pulls out a note card and measures it. Like, that's the first time and only time it's ever happened in NFL history. I don't remember any of that. So where's this stuff coming from, right? So again, we suck as fans. Let's talk about some other things that's going on. You have fans out here who don't know how to root for a person and be happy for a single person because they don't know what else to do with it. And I'm not just talking about Matthew Stafford. I'm talking about the whole entire Rams situation. There are some people who just hate how things went. Oh, this game was rigged. It was so set up. Who in the hell fumbles the ball that much? You know, people do. Human beings. You ever been walking and just tripped? Nothing was there? I know I have. Raise your hands. Don't be the only one out here.
Let me raise my hand. I got you.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. Yeah, hand is raised. And this is where I look at it. We as fans got to be better. We got to be more disciplined. We got to do our research. And we got to be able to understand the sport that we have. We are not understanding these things. Everybody wants to change a rule when it doesn't favor your team. But what happens when, and this has happened, what happens when you change the rule and it backfires on you? Y'all don't remember this, right? You remember that Calvin Johnson caught the ball against the Bears and they said it wasn't a catch? You remember that? Remember how they tried to get that rule changed? The Lions tried like hell to get the rule changed, and everybody else shot it down, right? And guess what happened? They left it alone. And what happened? One of the persons who were pushing and saying that they love the rule was Jerry Jones. Until it happened to them. Des Bryant goes to reach for the touchdown, and boom, ball comes out, and he never completed the catch. Oh, now we salty. Now we can change rules, right? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We still have to turn around and understand as fans of this league, you have to come in and understand changing rules to suit you can also bite you in the butt.
So, Luke, pause 1 second there. So, I am with you on the overtime rules. Like, I think people are overreacting a little bit here. I said this earlier in the show that ESPN come out and said that only 23% of the overtime games have been decided in the first possession since the rule has been changed. The key word there is since the rule has been changed. Do you realize back in 2018 when the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots played that epic AFC championship game, D4 lined offsides, we got a pick, game was over, and then Tom Brady's like hold my beer, right? I'm still bitter about that. I wish ill will on D4 every time I see him. I hope he kicks the couch and stubs his toe. But that's besides the point there. The key is that they changed the overtime rule saying that you have to have a touchdown, or if you kick a field goal, the other team can rebuttal, right? So previously before that, it was the first score wins, right? So mean now the only reason why people are saying this change the rule now, change the rule now is because it happened in a playoff game. How about this? How about we change the regular season overtime rules? Who wants to see a freaking tie?
I know, right? And Lord knows, as a Lions fan, I've got way too many of them.
Right.
Okay. I'm seeing way too many. And the reality is this. If you're changing the rule because of this one incident, I get it. But where was the rule change when you got a whole football team going to the Super Bowl on what should have been a bad call? Now, granted, there was time afterwards in overtime and things that left it on there. But that was a horrible call, and the game could have ended on that call. The reality is you need human error. Yeah. And that's what makes sports great. You need human error. Think about some of the greatest sports moments that have pissed people off. It's come on human error.
Right.
Like I'll never forget. I'll never forget it. Right. I'll never forget. I'm trying to figure out what baseball game it was. I want to make sure. I don't want to mess this up, but
was it the perfect game one where the umpire called it safe? Yeah. I know
he's
exactly
like safe, and I'm like, are you effing kidding me?
Yeah, he was out by a step and a half or something like that, wasn't he?
But guess what? That's a memory I'm going to forever have. It's a part of the game. They get it wrong. And I'm a Lions fan. I've seen the worst of this league and bad calls. That human error. And I've seen times where it's been in our favor. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll take that. We suffered enough, right? And so at the end of the day, this changing the rule doesn't matter. We got to be better as fans. I'm saying fans attack other fans just because they have a different opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you're calling out the fans, you're saying fans need to be better just because we need to know the rules better, or we need to support our teams better. Because we need
to be better as an overall. We need to know the rules better. We need to know how cap work. We need to know how player contracts work. We need to know more about the players. We need to understand how plays work, momentum works. We need to understand how different patterns work. They turn around and give you all these numbers statistically, analytics on top of that, advanced stats on top of that. And at the end of the day, most football fans only know football because of fantasy football and Madden, the video game. Not John Madden, RIP to the legend, but the video game. Nobody's out here. I can't tell how many people love to tell me, oh, that's cover two. You can kick rocks, okay? I don't care if you know what a cover two is. Can you explain to me why this broke down? No, you can't. And this is where we need to be better as fans. We need to be more in the understanding realm of how this works. We just don't get it. We don't get it, and we refuse to learn. We're good with it. All we know is our fantasy team racked up points, and therefore I know football.
Exactly.
BS. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of narratives that get pushed like you need a quarterback. Do you really? Like Eli Manning won the Super Bowl. Like Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. You want me to keep going? Hell, the second Super Bowl that Peyton Manning got, nobody's going to tell me he contributed to that. He was terrible that year.
Right?
Like, and in that game, Don't tell me it's about the quarterbacks. Just tell me how can you win. I hate the quarterback win-loss records. I hate Pro Football Focus. I hate all the things that fans use that they really don't understand and should not use and need to be better about it. If your fellow fan has a different view, have a discussion to try to see where they're coming from. Don't go to Madden and be like, yeah, but this is a cover 2.
Yeah,
just saying.
First things first is I'm gonna ask that person what makes this a cover 2. Yeah, you can say it's a cover 2, but what makes it a cover 2 at the end of the day? But let's just digress from that here because we are getting time here, Luke. I've had you on for a great time and I always enjoy talking to you. But I know you just did a 2-hour show yourself. But I got a few texts that came in to the text on here to the Skull Candy original headphones text on. You can use promo code MANHOUR at checkout, and that phone number is 812-648-HOUR. That is 812-648-4687. They said, my man Luke G, why are you even entertaining about talking to Packers and Aaron Rodgers when you are a Lion guy? I'm taking away your fan card.
Well,
wow.
one, I'm a fan of football first.
Right.
So before I become a Lions fan or any other type of fan, I'm a fan of football first. I'll see things in games that I'm like, oh, we should lose because of this. That shouldn't happen. Oh, this should be the reason why we win. I can see when momentum is switching, and it's a subtle thing. It's not nothing huge or major. I saw where a lot of things are gonna be different. But if you're talking football, I'm going to talk football from here to high heaven. And I can be a Lions fan, I can be a Bucks fan, a Seahawks fan, and anything else. But that's why I talk what I talk, because it's football first.
And before we let you go, Luke, I got one question for you to test your football knowledge. My man Drew over here, I saw Drew in your chat over there on your show, that he's over here as well. He says, how in the hell can the center false start? Let's test your football knowledge. Let's test that. Let's test that football knowledge, Luke. Let's do it.
Well, the first thing is there's a number of ways to do it. And now what you're seeing with a lot of the centers is they're not even doing the little false nose tilt of the ball. What they're actually doing is they're jerking a leg or they're moving an ankle or something like that. And that is what's causing people to come outside, thus creating a false start. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So I always love the play when everybody moves but the center, and then like in the referees, like false start on the center, like the center didn't even move. That's just kind of a false perception there, right? Because everybody else should have false starts, but the center.
Yeah, no, they definitely move. They do little things like they'll reach out and hit the guy next to him really hard, try to make it like, they do little stuff, and so they're cracking down on it because it's been working for years, to be honest with you. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but centers is one of the hardest ones to play, and they get dirty down there. So I've seen some centers do some dirty things.
So back when I first started watching the NFL game or the football game, and like in general, the linemen, you really couldn't move. Like once you were set, you were set. But now you see them like turning around and they're throwing the hand in front of the center to say, hey, it's time to snap the ball. How is that not a false start? Because like every time I see a hand, I want to fire off the ball because that's what I teach my defensive players. Once you see somebody move like that, you're firing off the ball. So I don't understand how that's not a false start, to be honest with you.
Well, because the NFL needs to make money, and the best way to do it is to always keep it, subjective.
Right. All right, guys.
I mean, that's the reality.
All right, guys. So that was my man Luke G on, and you can find him on Twitter at Luke G Fields on the old Twitter machine. His link to his YouTube channel is in the description below. Luke, before we let you go, tell the people what your show is all about.
Hey, I'm Luke G's Field Review, where I talk all things Detroit Lions football. I talk draft. I do film study. I talk live shows. You can find me at Luke G's Field Review or at Luke G on IG. You can find me at Luke G's Field Review on Twitter. And on top of that, we just going to talk football. We're going to be able to talk about all of the things happening in the NFC North. That means the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings, and including the Lions. We're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about salary caps. And also, you are a part of the show. You simply come over there with me. You jump in, you join in, you talk, we discuss football, and we have fun doing it and doing it respectfully.
Yeah, and my man Alpha Rob says Luke G is a smart guy. Luke G is the smartest guy I know, hands down, and most modest, and he's the most level-headed person out there that you guys will ever meet. So Luke G puts on a great show, guys. Be sure to check him out over there at Luke G's Field. Link is in the description below. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, because he is on there 5 days a week, 2 hours a day.
5 days a week, yeah.
Doing a solo show. I mean, that is tough. Like, I know what it is like to do a solo show, but thank you for being on, guys. We're up against a break. Coming up here on hour number 2 on the Man Hour, I got a special guest coming for you guys. I'm not going to spoil it yet, so just sit back and relax and see who is it going to be. Is it is it a blast from the past, or is it a blast from the future? Who knows? But all you need to know is he is a Packers guy. So, guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Once I'm home from work and relaxing,
I watch Man Hour while doing dishes.
In bed, hiding from my wife and kids.
what do you do when your husband and kid are obsessed with the Man Hour? You watch it with them.
Have you ever wanted to go to Vegas to see the NFL draft? Well, now you can. Simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, click on that join button, become a $5.99 member or higher, and you get free entry. Simple as that. So head over to youtube.com/manhour and hit that join button. You won't regret it. You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. That's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help. With the Take 22 merch, it's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support.
Work.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckasha here with the Man Hour. Phone lines are officially open here at Skull Candy Original Headphones. You can call or text into the show at 812-648-HOUR. That is 812-648-4687. So we do have a great conversation happening over there on the YouTube channel, guys. Keep it up. We just had Luke G on. We had Overreaction Tuesday. We talked some overtime rules. We talked a little bit about the Hall of Fame and whatnot. But, guys, it has been a great show. If you guys have not done so already, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here, youtube.com/manhour. And of course, you can find us up on bellyup.tv on the morning show every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. East Coast time. I am live over there. So guys, be sure to interact with us over here at YouTube and of course, bellyup.tv. But it is time to bring on a guy that has blessed our airways in the past. He has brought magic to your body, and he has been rooting for his Packers for as long as I know him. But now he has officially become a Chicago Bears fan, and that is my man, Tori Anderson. What's going on, Big T? You know, just that's how we do it, baby. Tori, when like you and me talk, man, it is great. So I had you on mute. I got you unmuted now. So before Drew can jump down my throat, I unmuted him. He's good to go. But Tori, how are you handling this loss from last week, man?
I mean, there again. You know how I look at things. I look at things from as much as I can from a level-headed perspective. Like,
yeah,
it's I expected us to lose that game. And I had said it. I said the 49ers are the worst matchup we could have because they know how to handle us. And again, it comes down to Kyle Shanahan and knowing LaFleur. And LaFleur running the same system. It comes down to not deviating enough from the system. I will tell you the big difference in that game was A.J. Dillon going down with the fractured ribs. As soon as A.J. Dillon went out, everything ceased to exist. Life stopped at that point. We had a pretty good shot because A.J. Dillon was tearing them up. He was straight tearing them up. He was ripping off 7-8 yard runs. They had no answer for him. As soon as he got hurt, it was like, oh crap. They weren't going to give it to Taylor. He's not the same back. He's more of an Aaron Jones type back. He's a lot smaller, sleeker back.
Yeah, and it pains me to say this, but Aaron Rodgers is officially 0-4 versus 49ers all time in the playoffs in a team that he vowed to basically destroy every time he plays, right? So but let's just go ahead and pass that, and let's talk about the future possibly that is going to happen in Green Bay. So Aaron Rodgers says everything is out on the table via Pat McAfee show today. I got the opportunity to watch that full show here. I talked it with a little bit with Luke G and whatnot. So what is the vibe you are getting from the Packers Nation up there that Aaron Rodgers could possibly come back to Green Bay next year?
One, I'm a Packers fan, and Packer fans are jackasses. They overreact to everything. They are Rodgers sucks. Get rid of him. Him and Devontae are terrible. We lost that game. Blow up the whole team. They're awful. Shut the hell up. The big thing is the team right now is $44 million over the cap.
Ouch.
For next year. $44 million. And that's with Devontae being a free agent. That's without restructuring anybody. So I watch for things from players. Zadarius Smith tweeted out, "Thanks for everything, Green Bay, with the peace out." That's $15.3 million they can save right there. That's 33% of the cap that they can do. Rashawn Gary played great, and without Zadarius Smith, obviously still on a rookie deal and probably going to come back. Preston Smith will probably stick around for another year because he'll probably redo his deal. He'll have a higher cap number, but he's still a good player. He's just not as dominant as he was the first season he was there. But he's still a great player to have on your roster. Will probably re-sign. They have to figure out where they're going to get money to re-sign Devondre Campbell. That guy came out of nowhere. That guy was afterthought on the Falcons and came to Green Bay and lit it up as probably our best inside linebacker that we had. There's a lot of things that got to be decided on this team. The big thing is who's going to restructure. Is Aaron going to be a team guy and give up? Because Aaron's slated to make $48 million this next year. If they can cut that number to in half and get him to
right,
do it as a signing bonus or whatever, obviously that's going to help. There's a lot of decisions that got to get made because if they can't get Devontae signed to a long-term extension, they're going to have to take him. And not that he's not worth the money of the top 3 receiver in the league, because he is. It's obviously with a long-term deal, it comes long-term financial stability, and the cap number usually comes down quite a bit.
Right.
So, but where you take him, now you're going to pay, a wide receiver almost, I don't know, I think it's $27 or $28 million a year.
Right. Yeah, so guys, we are talking with my man Tori Anderson. You can find him on Twitter at manhour_Tori on the old Twitter machine. He has been a little MIA with us here on the on the Man Hour, so I am really glad he is back, able to talk some Aaron Rodgers with us and some Green Bay Packers. So one of the key things that I took away from that Pat McAfee interview here is that Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to rebuild here. And for everything that you are saying, the Green Bay Packers are almost kind of in rebuild mode, right, Tori? So is the writing kind of on the wall that he is out of Green Bay because he doesn't want to be a part of the restructuring of the deal, the trying to bring all these free agents on it and get $56 or $46 million underneath the cap? Do you think the writing is on the wall in the end?
No, because there again, it'll all come down to who wants to do what for the team, and do they want to give this one last shot with the current talent that they have? You know, you have Devontae that's going to be exiting his prime here in the next year or two. You have Bakhtiari right now who is in his prime. You have a line that for the most part was patchwork all year long and played phenomenal. Like that's a testament to the depth that they had on that offensive line. And you know, I hate the term bargain bin shopping because guess what? They're still a professional athlete.
Right.
Yeah, they're not making as much as, you know, some of the big names, but still they were castaways. They were like Dennis Kelly played right tackle the last month for the Packers. Nobody knows who the hell Dennis Kelly is. Dennis Kelly was the starting right tackle for the Houston Texans the last few years. You know, the guy's been in the league 9 years, came in and played great. Honestly, I think it was a big mistake to have Billy Turner slide over to the left side in that game. You know, there's just a lot of things. But it all comes down to who's going to do what. Is Devontae going to give him a hometown discount if they can sign him long term? Are there going to be people to move money around? And that the two big ones there, it's going to come down to Aaron and Bakhtiari. Are they going to be able to move money around to help get the team under the cap?
So one question that I need to ask you here is like many people have said that basically that Aaron Rodgers has never had this help, and their wide receiver core we said was probably the best, or like it was the best, or at least a top 3 wide receiver core in the league. So let's say that Aaron Rodgers retires or goes to a different team, i.e. the Dallas Cowboys. Does a player like Davante Adams stay and want to rebuild with Jordan Love, or is it a total rebuild if Aaron Rodgers does happen to leave?
So, and this is just coming from years as a union rep and union speak. The union's going to want them to go where they can make the most amount of money because that's going to help other players down the line. So at that point, do they value loyalty over the dollar? It depends. If somebody comes in so over the top, the player's going to take the money. I don't care who you are. You know, there's just certain things that get done that when they come in over the top like that, they're going to take the money instead because it sets other people up in the future. It's how terrible quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins get $84 million guaranteed contracts.
Right.
You know, so there's just different things. Say Aaron does move on and great. That's puts us almost right under the cap right there.
Yeah.
I'm not super confident in Jordan Love, but if you compare his stuff that compared to Aaron's, it's almost the same. Aaron Rodgers, like when Aaron was coming up in Green Bay, people hated him, not only because they knew he was the heir apparent to Favre,
right?
But he showed nothing when he played. Everybody's like, we are screwed when this guy has to play because he's thrown, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He's shown nothing spectacular. But again, it was 3 years on the bench then for him before they kind of 4 years on the bench before they figure, hey, this 5th year, we need to find out what we have. I think that if they push it, it's probably a year too soon for Jordan. I get a little scared, but he makes the same mistakes that all rookie quarterbacks or young quarterbacks make. Right. He holds on to the ball too long. He doesn't feel the pocket presence. The big thing that I took away from him is he wasn't making mistakes that were costly. His interceptions, a lot of them, the one against Kansas City, that was on him. Right. But the other two that he threw when he came in the Detroit game were tip passes. So
100% yes.
So I'm just like, okay, do you really? And everyone's like, see, he's garbage, he's trash. Can you really tell anything from that? You can't.
Not from the Detroit game, maybe from the Kansas City game, simply because the Chiefs had started to come on and click like at that particular point. But on the flip side of that coin, he only had 3 days to prepare, really, because Aaron Rodgers would test positive on Thursday or something. So I mean, it's hindsight's 2020, right?
Well, and that's the thing. And even the Detroit, we literally had our second string team out there.
Yeah,
like we had no starters out there. It was like our preseason team versus like an NFL team starters,
right? And a NFL team that was hungry for a win because they wanted to give it for their coach and like whatnot here. So guys, we are talking with my man Tori Anderson. You can follow him on Twitter at @manhour_Tori. He does a lot of back office for the Man Hour, and of course Tori, you were on every day for like 2 or 3 months straight while like we're trying to figure things out and like whatnot. So definitely welcome back to the airways. I hope you're feeling better because you had the Rona too. Now I got the Rona.
No. I came back negative.
Oh, did you?
I came back positive for the flu.
Oh, so how do you do a flu test now?
So they tested me when I went in for my Rona test. They tested me for the flu, and that was like a swab down the throat. And they're like,
"Oh, okay.
Try not to get," because I'm like, "Oh."
That sounds like your Friday night, right?"
Right? And so I came back negative for COVID. I said, at one point, I had to sleep in my bathroom.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even open my eyes or lift my head without having to throw up.
Jeez.
And at one point, I was like, please, why couldn't I have COVID instead? I just want to die. How can I die right now? Please just let me die.
So
it was bad.
Not to go too far left on this thing, but I thought the flu was totally eradicated last year, but whatever. And making a storm come back.
Well, the thing is anytime they give you like the thing, that's why I hate that they call it like the COVID vaccine. It's not a vaccine; it's a shot.
Yeah.
It's like the flu. It'll protect you and you won't die from it.
Right.
But you can still get it. Like, so a vaccine means you can't get it. This is not a vaccine, it's a shot.
Yeah, so
I got
my 2 shots, and I was wearing a mask and still got it and had to be quarantined for 14 days, even though I had 0 symptoms at all. But that's here and there. But my man Drew, admin over here at youtube.com/manhour, he says the Green Bay Packers' current roster just can't get the job done. Do you agree with that? That they can't get the job done? I mean, this team was 13-4 this year, #1 seed. Hell, they had the #1 seed locked up 2 weeks before the season was over. This team was good, Drew. Like, can they really not get the job done?
I don't think so. The thing is that they finally built a defense. That defense played phenomenal in that playoff game. Lights out. And it was the talk, too, before the game. We all said the special teams, if we lose, it's going to be because of the special teams. And it's exactly what cost us.
Exactly.
Between the blocked field goal, the blocked punt, everything. Like, that is – the Green Bay Packers have been the worst special teams unit in the NFL since 2010. The worst. For whatever reason, we do not know how to have special teams. I can't tell you how many special teams coaches we've gone through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. There's just nothing. The only thing consistent was Crosby, and Crosby wasn't even that good this year.
Right. So let me ask you this, because me as being a high school head coach now, special teams kind of come like as a like as an afterthought, to be totally honest. I mean, I need to put my offense together and my defense together and get my players out there, and I'm going to put some freshmen and sophomore out there just to get some experience. Is that what the Packers are doing? Like, they're using all these, backup linebackers and cornerbacks. Maybe they need to put some people that are not Kevin King on kickoff return team.
But the thing is, every NFL team does that.
Right.
They do nothing different than any other NFL team.
So why are they so bad?
That's the $1 million question. This team is terrible on special teams. When it comes to coverage, like, we're awful. Like, other teams, like, I fear every time we kick off or punt to another team that they're going to take it to the house.
Yeah.
Like, but again, that's been since 2010. Like,
so it's
every
so
year,
so it's so it's
reason.
not so it is not a coaching regime thing. It's just a culture thing, right? It's a Green Bay Packers culture. Like, we suck at special teams.
Apparently, but again, every team that is solid in every phase of the game.
Right.
And I will tell you right now, that's why I'm the biggest Bengals fan in the world right now. Like, please, Joe Burrow, go to the Super Bowl and win that. I know you don't want to hear that because they play the Chiefs this weekend.
Right.
But I am a fan of the Bengals. One, that is a city that it's like the Lions. Like, if the Lions get suddenly good, I would be on that bandwagon. I'd be like, go you, because you have been terrible and your fans deserve something to cheer for.
See, and like Kansas City was the same way before we went to that AFC Championship game. We were first round exit for many years, so I mean,
but you made the playoffs. How often do the Lions make the playoffs?
Well, Stafford was 0-3 as a Lion. But the Bengals, Andy Dalton was 0-8, right, or 0-9 as a player.
Yeah,
So I mean,
Marvin Lewis lost every single year in the first round.
Right. So, but mediocre is God over there in Cincinnati.
In Detroit, I mean, Jesus, they fired Jim Caldwell for going to the playoffs 3 years in a row. Like, they should have built that man a monument.
That was the problem, is they went to the playoffs, but they didn't win. So
I mean, that's gonna be the Chicago Bears' problem here pretty soon, because Jim Caldwell's the front runner for that job. Which again, I think Jim Caldwell's a great coach. So
yeah. So speaking of the Chicago Bears, if you don't mind staying around a little bit, they did sign their GM today. What's his name? It was Poole, right?
The Kansas City. They need to get the hell away from that Kansas City Chiefs stuff. Every time they go for something with Kansas City Chiefs, they end up regretting it. Yeah. So that's like when I saw they signed the assistant GM from the Chiefs to be their GM, I'm like, well, they just jinx themselves.
Yeah, so that's actually the note that I have wrote down, is the Kansas City sloppy seconds here. But I got to even know who this kid was, and I'm a Chiefs guy, and he is a black man. Do you think the Bears are kind of making a statement by hiring a black GM, like just because, Virginia McCaskey and Coleman said, oh, she is a racist, they don't want a black quarterback, this, and they hire a black GM? Do you think it's kind of like a narrative thing?
I would love to say that the man's skin color has nothing to do with it. They should hire the man based on he's qualified for the job. But it probably did factor into the culture about, because like, even though everything Combs might say it might not be true, but if where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right.
And so they might be like, yeah, we need to get with the times. So it could partially be, I honestly hope he's the most qualified person for that position.
Yeah.
That's how I hope that he got his job. And I hope that's what he goes in thinking, not, well, I was hired because I'm black.
Well, no, to be honest, I don't know anything about the guy whatsoever, just besides his name, and he was a Kansas City Chiefs executive. That's all I know about him, to be honest. So
and for me, what is that? For me, I go with the opposite direction of that. It's let's do something different out of the norm, and if it works, it's great. And then that's where like you get all the emulators. We're like, oh, they hired the guy that was the film coordinator for 3 years, and he's now the GM, and he did amazing. We're going to hire a film coordinator too, and that's going to work for us too. Like, imitation is the greatest form of flattery at that point. It could be that they're just trying to think outside the box, and like, okay, the guy wasn't an assistant GM or the president of player personnel or whatever it is, and he was genuinely the most qualified person, even though he didn't have the title or the experience. Like I said, if it works out, great for them. Yeah. Everybody else is going to be like, what's that game? What's the kid doing, picking the kickoff tee doing up after this game? Wonder if we can get him a job. He could be our special teams coordinator. Doesn't
it sound like the Water Boy just a little bit, because how the Water Boy was doing success, and they're like, oh, such and such had a slew of injuries, and now they got the Towel Boy, and boom, he has a laundry list of problems now. So I think that was funny.
So yeah, but the thing is there again, it's imitation is the greatest form of flattery. And like I'm a football fan, and I'm a big fan of competition, and I hope it works out great for the Bears. Yeah. They're a team that has not had a ton to cheer for in a long time, and like, I like to rib with them. I'm a football fan. Whatever. To me, the Vikings are a bigger rival to us than the Bears, and
you have to win a couple games to make it a rivalry, right? That's what it comes down to,
right? And right now, Matt LaFleur's only losses in the NFC North are twice to the Vikings and once to the Lions, though.
Versus the second team, right? So guys, we are talking with my man Tori Anderson here. You can follow him on Twitter at @manhour_Tori. But Tori, before I let you go, I got one question for you. Drew says, "Isn't Kevin King a free agent this year?"
He is. He's as good as gone. Because again, we have Eric Stokes, who looked pretty good. He did have a bad play in the playoff game. However, they're probably going to try to bring back Rasul Douglas, who was on the Arizona practice squad and became a Pro Bowl corner. Like, I liken his rise to Josh Norman when Josh Norman was the prominence.
Yeah. So, guys, Tori, thank you for joining, man. We got some great Green Bay Packer talk. I got some great clips I'm going to post of you there. So, I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're getting settled. There you go. Great posing there. Like, did it for one more time so I can screenshot it. Boom, baby. All right, guys, follow him on Twitter at @manhour_Tory. Tory, you gotta give me a bold prediction for the Packers next year.
Ooh, bold prediction for the Packers. I'm going to stay away from the obvious ones. The Green Bay Packers will finish not last in special teams next year.
Oh, that is a very good bold prediction. We'll see if it holds true.
I'm going to say they crack the top 30.
Top 30. All right, there we go, guys. So 29th for the Green Bay Packers special team next year per Tory Anderson. But guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. Stay tuned.
I give a slight edge, Mike, to Marquette because they're playing on their home court, and Marquette's been taking care of business on the road. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Station not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're out the dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers. Go.
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby!
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Now, that's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help with the Take 22 merch. It's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheiser here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. We got the news down there at the bottom right of the website page. So if you see all breaking news over there, happen on the bottom right of the screen. We got the merchandise page. We got Takeaway 22 shirt. We got the logo merch. We have all the free stuff happening over there. Of course, we got the giveaway to Las Vegas for the NFL draft over there as well. Also, if you're over here on youtube.com/Man Hour, hit the join button for $5.99 or higher. You get entered into that as well. So, guys, man, this has been like deja vu. Buck Nasty's right back here on After Nights on the Man Hour, guys. I have missed you guys being here on the Nighttime show. I do enjoy doing the morning show. So if you guys have not checked out the morning show yet, it's pretty much the same thing, but I add my special little twist on it. I got some games I like to play. We got the phone lines open. The Skull Candy original headphones text line is open and phone lines, so we get some phone calls and texts and all that good stuff. And of course, we are on bellyup.tv every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. right there as well. So we get that audience as well. So, guys, it is great times. If you guys are not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, subscribe to it and hit that bell icon, because I do upload the clips each and every day over there. So I clip different parts of the show put it up there, and hopefully you guys, get enjoyment and entertainment out of that, because that's how we interact with you guys. Also, if you miss any part of the show whatsoever, you can download the Good Pods app. That's on Android and iOS devices. Simply search for Good Pods in your Play Store or whatever you download your application. And there, download that. Search for Man Hour Sports Talk, all different words. So man, space hour, space sports, talk, all 4 words there. Search for it. Hit the subscribe button on that, and you can rank each episode. So every episode that we do here, I try to get it out on there as soon as I can. So Monday's show is out there. Guys, download that app. Leave it a ranking, because right now we are a top 10 best sports show out there. So top 10. We want to get to number 1. We were at number 3. And we slid down. Guys, help us out. So leave rankings on that and all that good stuff. So we've had my man Tori on. I missed that guy. Miss him like a brother and fuck him like a sister. We had Luke G on. If you guys have not subscribed to his YouTube channel, do so. He does great content over there. All Detroit Lions all the time. Excuse me. And we had Overreaction Tuesday and all that good stuff. But it is time to get into some other NFL talk here, and the NFL has officially announced the referees for the Super Bowl. 4 of the 8 officials do have Super Bowl experience, and I don't understand why this is news, because let's just be honest. Every time a referee has made the man hour this particular year, it has been a shit show. The referees have been total dog crap all season long, and I get it. They do announce these guys every year, and it is what it is. Like, I don't know any of these particular people's names by any means. So the down judge Derek Bowser has Super Bowl experience. Line judge Carl Johnson has 2 Super Bowls. Field judge Rick Patterson has 2 Super Bowls, and back judge Scott Helfson has 2 Super Bowls. None of that matters to me, to be totally honest. But what I want to kind of say or kind of do or scratch my head about is, have you guys noticed that each sideline has basically head referees from other crews talking to the head coaches all game long? Why is that? They are basically there to explain to them the rules, because the head referee can no longer walk the 15 yards to talk to the head coach. I kind of feel like there is kind of a power struggle happening when you have these other referees on the sideline talking to said coaches, right? Just because when stuff like this happens, when you work as a crew, you are always taught to have said person's back, right? But when you have these other referees on the sideline saying, yeah, that was a bad call, right? The head coach is going to go ape shit. It is stupid. But the NFL has officially announced the referees for this year's Super Bowl. If you guys are curious in the list, if you guys know them, awesome. I don't want to know referees' names. I know that sounds bitter or whatever. I don't really care. I just hope they don't F it up, right? I hope they don't blow the whistle in the middle of the play and say, oh, the play's dead, right? Like they did it with the Cincinnati Raiders game, right? It's just, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, guys, we have touched on this a little bit here tonight. There are officially 9 head coaching jobs vacant in the NFL here. So there are GM jobs that are starting to fill. We haven't heard any head coaching jobs fill yet, which I'm very happy about. I think all I think all interviews should wait till after the Super Bowl anyways, but that's here nor there. We can get into that tomorrow in the morning show. But I have ranked these job openings from best to worst. So out of the 9 teams that are looking for coaches right now, the number 1 job out there, guys, has to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Guys, the Raiders, they basically made something out of nothing this year. They lost Henry Ruggs. They lost their cornerback. They lost another receiver. This team had all opportunities to fold on itself all season long, and somehow, some way, they molded together. They made a playoff. They finished a record 10-7 this year. Do you guys realize that they finished 10-7 this year? Derek Carr took leaps and bounds like he does every year. But biggest key factor here is general manager Mike Mayock has been officially fired. He is out in Raiderland. So you will be looking at some coaches that are kind of looking for that GM head coaching play out there, right? Maybe somebody like Sean Peyton could slide in Las Vegas, become a GM and a head coach over over there. Maybe that's what a person like Sean Peyton wants. Maybe somebody like, I don't know, like Urban Meyer could possibly slide in there. Or Jim Harbaugh has been rumored to want to come back to the NFL, a GM head coaching role, So, but easily I think the Las Vegas Raiders have the best team structured. They are basically this close to being Super Bowl right now. If the Raiders did not play the Bengals that first game and Bengals have been doing great, right? In this postseason, we could easily see the Raiders right now playing the Kansas City Chiefs in this championship game. Job number 2 is the Denver Broncos. Yes, I know you guys are scratching your head. The Denver Broncos, yeah, guys, the Denver Broncos have a great defense. They probably have a top 10 defense in the NFL. I don't have the stats in front of me or the rankings, but my eyes tell me that they are a very, very good defense. They did finish the season 7-10 last season, but they have yet to get a reliable quarterback since Peyton Manning has taken the helm. Yes, they have Teddy Bridgewater. They have Drew Lock. They've gone through countless other quarterbacks, but they need to find that guy. They need to find a quarterback coach to either, one, mold Teddy Bridgewater into the quarterback that he was going to be in Minnesota before he blew up his knee, or get a free agent in there. Winston, Baker, Jimmy G, possibly, right? There are quarterbacks in there that would fit great in Denver right now. They are that reliable quarterback away. I think Jimmy G would be a great fit in Denver, but the coaching aspect is, like I said earlier on the Monday show, it is not Dan Quinn. But the defense is, they are great. They have Patrick Surtain. They have Javion Williams out there. They have Cortland Sutton. There are many. They have a great young core, and they have so much cap space. They have the largest cap space to play with in the NFL. Team number 3 that I have ranked here are going to be the Miami Dolphins. Brian Flores was fired very, very surprisingly, right? Because I think he was fired because he didn't want Deshaun Watson. He doesn't want to deal with that case at all. But the Miami Dolphins are right there. They finished 9-8 this season. They're right there. Tua kind of came into his own a little bit. Deshaun Watson still wants to go to Miami, and Miami has a lot of draft picks and Tua to possibly trade them, get them in there. So we will see. But we will see what happens in Miami. Job number 4 to me is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, they did finish 3-14 last season, but they also had a head coach in the name of Urban Meyer. Not very good, right? They do have the number 1 overall pick this year. They had the number 1 overall pick last year. They had Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is basically a good coach away of being a top 15 quarterback in the league. But as right now, he is going to be a bust. They still have Travis Etienne. They have a young receiver core, right? And the owner right now is building a brand new stadium. The new stadium, because we've seen the SoFi Stadium and Allegiant Stadium, right, be freaking amazing stadiums. So obviously the Jacksonville Jaguars have to go above and beyond that. So they're building a state-of-the-art as just like as well. So very, very good opportunity over there. And then job number 5, the 5th ranked team that I think out of the 9 there is going to be the Chicago Bears. They have Trey Lance there. They still they have a plethora of good young talent that just needs to be put in the right spots. The right plays need to be called. They did finish 6-6 and 11 in 2021, so they do got a lot of work to do. They just got their GM there. Like Tori said, you don't want to put skin color on the situation, but the truth of the matter is that skin color is a situational there in Chicago for whatever reason. They hired a black GM. It wouldn't surprise me if they hired a black coach as well. Brian Flores might be a very good pick for Chicago. Team number 6 here is Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins is good. Like, I know Torrey Anderson kind of dogged Kirk Cousins a little bit here, but they still got Delvin Cook. They got Justin Jefferson as well. But they don't have any cap space, unfortunately. So the team as it is there. So you need a coach that is going to be able to deal with that talent. Maybe Mike McCarty. Never know there. Team number 7 is going to be the New York Giants. Giants are just in bad shape. But even worse shape is number 8 in the New Orleans Saints. And even worse shape in that is the Houston Texans. They don't have a quarterback. I mean, Davis Mills is probably the future there. They could get a plethora of first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, but that's here nor there. So, guys, that is my top 9 coaching openings here from 1 to 9. So if you guys got any comments on that, let me know. But we are going to get into rapid fire time, guys. So rapid fire time is I'm going to quickly go through the news here. This is what I do on the morning show right before we end the show, because we're getting ready to end the show. We're up against the time. I want to watch some UK basketball game tonight. So rapid fire time, rapid fire time, rapid fire time. Coming through the news here, Josh Gordon has officially signed with the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad again. He has been active for the last 2 playoff teams. They cut him. Nobody picked him up in the waiver wire, so Kansas City signed him to the practice squad again. The NFL has released its final 4 power rankings. Coming in at number 1 is Kansas City Chiefs, number 2 San Francisco 49ers, number 3 the LA Rams, and number 4 Cincinnati Bengals. Are you surprised? No, it doesn't really matter to me. And then, of course, the Bears are set for more sloppy seconds from the Kansas City Chiefs. They're hiring Ryan Poles as their GM. So, guys, that's going to be it for tonight's show. Join me tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. East Coast time here. But I forgot. Got into Mike's thoughts.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
That is right. My thoughts coming out of my skull cap here. And I wrote this down when I was watching Luke G show because, first of all, Luke G puts on a great show. And he starts and ends the shows with a positive thought. And this positive thought really hit home to me 100% today. And I don't have the exact quote because usually when I hear this stuff, I listen and I understand it and I agree with it. But this one, for some reason, really hit me hard. And so I didn't have time to write down the quote that Luke G said, but this is totally coming from Luke G's channel. So be sure to subscribe to him, guys. He got great content over there. But he says, I mean, he doesn't say it. The quoter says, be your own captain. Be the captain of your ship. So if you do not like the job that you are in, if you do not like the situation that you're in, if you don't like your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whatever, take control of your life and be the captain of your ship. Right that ship, do what you want to do. It is your life, you do what you want to do. And when Luke G said that, it hits me very, very hard because I got a promotion at work and I do love my job. Like don't get it twisted whatsoever. I love my job. I love what I do. I love going to work every day. But at the end of the day, I feel deep down that I am meant to be my own boss. I am meant to run an organization, work hard. Drew, you know it firsthand here that I burn my candle both ends of the wick. I put all I can into the man hour plus all I can at work, and sometimes I get burnt out a little bit, right? And I have to redo the candle, take a few days off, collect my thoughts, and do it, right? So when Luke G said, be your own boss, be the captain of your ship, it made me want to deep down go talk to my wife after my 14-day quarantine is over there, right? And just be like, hey, it's time to do man hour 4 time, baby. So guys, if I should do Man Hour full time, let me know. Be my own boss, captain of my ship, take charge of my life. Let me know. Financially, we can do it. I just need you guys to support here. Let me know. Man Hour Nation, rise up.